The interesting thing about this is the owner actually got money back from this. It didn't cost them more money. All right, so welcome to the weekly wrap up. If you're new here, my name's Tyler. I'm an architectural designer in California. So I'm gonna be showing you what I do on an average week as a designer in an architecture office. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe button down below and let me know what else you wanna see from me on a weekly basis. So let's go ahead and get right into this first task. The first task I had to work on this week was addressing comments in the project specifications. We submitted this project for review for DSA, which is the Division of State Architects. They're an entity that provides design and construction oversight for K through 12, community colleges, or any other state-funded building. This is actually the same project that you saw me work on last week, where I had to work on that structural model and I had to add window details and call-outs to the window schedules. I'll go ahead and add a card up to the top of the video if you want to check out the progress of this project over the last 2 weeks. So my job is to go through and address all of these comments that they made in our specifications and then make the changes accordingly. That way we can resubmit the project to the DSA and then they can review it again and then hopefully approve the project. My next task was to work on a site plan for a new project where we're upgrading the administration building in an existing middle school. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking existing drawings from this middle school and I'm just tracing over them simply in Revit. Now you might think this isn't really the most accurate way to produce drawings, is it? And you're right, it's really not. But it's okay because this project is in the schematic design phase and that means it's in the very, very beginning of the design, which means it doesn't really need to be that accurate yet. We just need a general site plan as a talking point so we know where things are located on this site. I'll actually be visiting this project next week so we can meet with the principal of the middle school. So stay tuned for next week to see some site visit footage to see what this project looks like. So if you saw last week's episode of the weekly wrap up, you saw me visit one of my projects that was under construction. One of the things I had to do for this project that's under construction right now is write a CRB, otherwise known as a Cost Request Bulletin. And we'll write out in the CRB, these are the things that we need you to either take out of the project or add to the project. And then we send that to the contractor and say, hey, can you please give us a price for what this design change or these costs are gonna be? And you'll see as I'm writing out the CRB, there's items that's called credits. That means that's money going back to the owner. The reason why this CRB ended up giving the owner money back in their pocket is because we eliminated some scope of work from the project and the owner decided, I don't want to do this anymore. This is just too much work to go through review with the city. Let's go ahead and take this fencing gate out of the project. So for once, we didn't end up costing the owner more money. We ended up giving them back some money. Also had a lot of phone calls back and forth with my mechanical engineer and my contractor for this project. And I couldn't really take video of myself on the phone at work, but you'll just have to trust me that it looked a lot like this. This is in the same scope of work as the previous project where I was tracing over that site plan. So there's not much to say on this one. I pretty much had to just trace over the site. The only difference from this task to the previous one is I actually had the existing floor plans to the administration building that we're going to be doing work on. So I can base my floor plan based on the existing drawings. And when I go out and I visit the site next week, all I have to do is verify that these dimensions and that the floor plan is correct as per the existing drawings. So a fun thing I was doing this week was some 3D printing for myself. You'll see a video on my channel coming up soon of the process that I like to go through for 3D printing. It's called a sew right. You'll have to look it up, but I was just doing some 3D printing for fun for myself in the office, and everybody kept walking by the 3D printer going, what is that? What are you printing? You can actually see the like button back there on my shelf. I 3D printed that a couple days ago. I'll add a card up at the top of this video if you want to check out the process of me 3D printing that. So that about does it for the weekly wrap up. This was a slower week than last week, but next week you'll get to see some cool site visits as I go and I check out those middle schools for those new projects that we're doing. And make sure to check out the last episode of the weekly wrap up if you want to see the progress of some of these projects that I've been working on. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.